Hello and welcome to Code Canvas. This channel is all about web development covering JavaScript, CSS3, HTML5, React.js, AWS, and WordPress as well. If you are looking to learn, build, and grow your skills, you are in the right place. Let's get started. In today's video, we will learn about one useful CSS property called isolation with a simple example. The isolation property in CSS is used to prevent elements from blending with their backdrops. It is used to define whether an element should create a new stacking context. This is useful when dealing with blending modes and z-index layering in complex layouts. So, question is, what is stacking context? So, stating context is an imaginary layer system in which elements are stacked according to their z index values. Normally, elements are part of the same stacking context unless certain properties like position, opacity, transform creates a new one. And what's the purpose of isolation? The isolation property helps prevent blending effects from leaking into or affecting other elements outside the current element. It's useful when using CSS blend modes and you want to isolate the blending to a specific element. So syntax is simple. This is class element isolation. Either it is auto or isolate. So auto is the default value. It means the element does not create a new stacking context. And isolate means the element does create a new stacking context. Let's see with one actual example. In HTML, here outside this container, let's create one div with one class module. Okay, and here let me add one image with some source, and let's keep the source here. Now this is an image, right? This is an image. Okay, so now outside this image we will add another div with some class. Let's add module underscore content, and here let's add one quote. Let's add one simple quote. The surest sign that intelligent life exists. So this is some random quote I found on internet. So the surest sign that intelligent life exists elsewhere in the universe is that it has never tried to contact us. So this is random quote, some quote. Okay, and let me add site. So this is an author name. Let me add ampersand m dash. The name is Bill. Okay, so let's see how it looks. So this is how it is looking, right? So let's add some CSS here. So first of all, we will copy this class module. In this class module, we need to add position, that is relative. So that's a parent element, and we are adding it as a relative, position relative. Okay, so this is div and this is in container, outside the container. That's fine. Okay, so next what we can do, image width. In image, we can use width as 100% and height auto. So these are few CSS. Okay, so with this, what we can do, we have also this tag that we can select. So let's do one thing. Let's try to inspect here and try to add that CSS here. Okay, so first we will give position absolute because its parent is position relative, so we can add position absolute for that child. Okay, so now this is position absolute. With this we can give some top value, 3 em as top value. Left, let's give it 10%. Left 10%. Okay, let's add some background color. Background color as hash 555. Border, so let's see how it looks. So for that, let's give some color before we add something else. So now we have this color. Yeah, it is here, right? So let's add some border. Border 15 pixel solid, and let's give color white or black color. Okay, and with this we can add the font size 3 em so it looks better. Padding 25 pixel, and let's add 10 pixel. Okay, now text align center, and width let's add 70%, so it will be looking like this, right? So let's copy this and add into our CSS. Position we have already added. Okay, so now with these properties we can add mix blend mode to overlay, right? Because we need to add this element as an overlay, and that's why this mix blend mode is overlay. So when you add this mix blend mode, as you can see, this is not readable. This is not something that you want as your content, right? So here we can also add some CSS. So this is a selector, and let's add color white. Display, let's display block. Font size, let's keep it 50% from its parent, and margin top 25 pixel. Let's see how it looks. Okay, it looks better. Okay, so now module underscore content, we have this module image and this module underscore content class. What we can do here, let's add that property here, module underscore content, and let's add here module underscore content. Isolation default value is auto, and isolate. When you add isolate, it will be with this proper background and it's readable now. So isolation value isolate, and let it reload, right? So when you use this mix blend mode with overlay here, mix blend mode is overlay, you can use isolation value isolate. Default value is auto, and using isolate you can fix it. So the question is when to use isolation. So there are three cases that you can use isolation. First one, when using mix blend mode and you want to contain the blending effect. So this is a blending effect, and we want to keep this blending effect when you are using mix blend mode. Second point is when we are managing complex z-index layering and you want to control staking context. So in this case we don't have that z-index layer, but sometimes you have that z-index and you have to control that staking context. In that case you can use isolation. And the third point is when you are debugging the unexpected visual effects due to the blending or staking. So these are the three use cases that you can use isolation CSS property. Let's talk about browser compatibility. The isolation CSS property has wide browser support across modern platforms. Latest versions of Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, Opera supports isolation CSS property. Older versions of Internet Explorer browser do not support isolation. Alright, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more similar videos. Drop your questions or suggestions in the comments. I would love to hear from you. See you in the next video. Until then, keep learning and keep coding.